Hey friends, it's me, Stephanie, and welcome back to the Lost and Funny Farm. Now, I feel like I've been sniffling every time I do a video, and I was always under the impression I didn't have allergies. I think I've been lying to myself for like a long time. Anyway, let's go, because today we are taking a tour of all these Greenstalks to see how they're doing, what we got planted, and fingers crossed the train, my soundtrack won't be playing in the background. So let's start over here with these three. Let's see what we got. Sniff, sniff. Okay, so this is my first terracotta greenstalk, and she is pretty. So we've got some top tier flowers. This is a rudbeckia, petunias, dusty miller, more rudbeckia, a sage, and a dusty miller. Second tier, marigolds. And I know y'all saying, Stephanie, there's a lot of marigolds in that one pocket. But okay, we'll see how it goes. There's some marigolds right there. I didn't think they were going to participate, but then they showed up. Then this one has the nerve. Nothing showed up in this pocket, right? So I put this petunia. What is that? Yeah. So anyway, we're going to let that go and see how it do. Same thing for this one. Nothing showed up in this pocket. And then all of a sudden, what's that? That's a marigold. That's a marigold. Anyway, so the last two tiers up here are the mini bell peppers. And these are really cute. These peppers are at their maximum height. They are the size they're going to be. And they are flowering. This morning, I picked off 3 mini bell peppers. So, next one. This one's identical, except the white tier. So, I'm lying. Dusty miller, basil, dusty miller, and basil. And this is the cinnamon basil, not the opal. The opal basil is like all purple. This is cinnamon. So, and yes, you're going to see dusty miller or silver fox make an appearance almost in every green stalk except for the strawberries, I think, because she's pretty. This row, I also planted with marigolds, the white tier. So these are all 3 tier. Well, they're supposed to be 3 tier, as you can see, green stalks. But when the snow came out, I was like, that is pretty. So I ordered a 3 tier snow in basket weave. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I like the 4 tier. I love the 5 tier, but the 4 tier feels so good as a height. So I bought a 3 tier just to break it up and make my 3s into 4s. So that's why you see a random white tier in the middle. Anyway, back to the green stalks. So what we have here, these are the patio peppers. So as you can see, these are they're mini pepper, they're dwarfs. So they are at the height they're going to be. They're also flowering, so we're going to get pepper soon. But let's talk about this white tier again. Again, I put marigolds in the white tiers, and nothing happened for like a really long time. So I was like, you know what I have some zinnia starts. So I put the zinnias in here, and then what showed up? The jealousy. The jealousy. What are you doing back there? Where did you guys come from? Because you weren't there. I just left these here because they were already looking some kind of way by the time I planted the zinnias. Now, I know y'all going to say, Stephanie, zinnias get really, really tall. I know. And I'm okay with that. I'm actually looking forward to that. I think the height is going to be super pretty. And what am I doing? So once they get a good height, they'll be giving some shade to the basil. So I'm actually okay with that, and some color, and draw my pollinators over to continue pollinating these peppers. It's a little bit of method to my madness, and then sometimes it's just madness. I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes I just be like, oh, I got an empty spot. I got some flowers. I'm gonna stick them right here, and I'm not thinking about the final outcome. But so far, it's worked out, and I have zero complaints about the ridiculous mistakes I make. But that's what gardening is about. It's about not making ridiculous mistakes, but it's about you experimenting, seeing what works this year that didn't work last year, trying something new that you've never tried before, seeing what grows best here, what doesn't grow well, what does good in your particular soil, in your microclimate. Like you see back there, my neighbor has a privacy fence, but you'll see the rest of my yard. I'm the corner house. It's open. So I have a different microclimate back here because that privacy fence provides a windbreak. And it's different up here in the front, in the back, on the side. Where am I talking about? Anyway, it's different up here because the wind. Did I eat a gnat? I want to talk to y'all, but I think bugs are literally trying to get in my mouth. I'm sorry. I think that bug is a ventriloquist. It's trying to talk on my behalf. And that's not going to happen. Go away. So anyway, what's in this glacier blue Greenstalk? So you'll see here at the top, we have, again, basil. This is a regular Genovese sweet basil, the one that everybody plants. The opal basil again. And yeah, this. You know what it is. I said the name 50 times. Okay, I'll say it again. It's Dusty Miller. The white tear, again, we planted marigolds in here. So some came up. Nothing right there. Wait, I might be lying. Girl, what's that? Be a marigold. The only thing that should be in there is marigolds. So, marigolds. I think when I watered, I ended up washing some of the seeds to the back. So they're back here. But if you see, they're facing this way because they're trying to get to the sun. And I turn all my Greenstalks every day. So marigold. And again, the pocket with nothing. Well, something. We'll just let that ride and see what turns into. It's got about another week to prove itself before we put something else here, because I got some asters that's ready to rock and roll. So anyway, the next two tiers we will see are, this is dragon tongue beans, and everywhere I planted dragon tongue beans, I got nearly 100% germination. So I've got zero complaints there. But the bottom row is a tricolored beans. And, well, that's a dragon tongue bean. Yeah, that's pitiful. Rather unlucky for me. However, moving right along, because again, I have some stuff that can go there. So, what we have here, this is the snow. And yes, there is a glacier blue leaf tier in there. Now you're saying, why didn't you put this glacier blue leaf tier on the glacier blue one? I just wanted to splash of color. You know, am I allowed to have a splash of color? Look, splash of color. I wanted a splash of color. Also, it just was given cold, you know, glacier blue and snow. Anyway, back off my Titanic vibes. Get it? Glacier. Okay, that's not cool. So what's planted in here? I had to reseed this a few days ago. So this Greenstalk was back in the back beside the chicken coop, because this one is devoted to the chickens. So everything in here is what we will be giving to the chickens to supplement their feed, because this is, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, and they definitely give us eggs and lots of manure. That's poop. So what we planted in every single pocket is New Zealand spinach. And I have some great germination in some pockets, and the ones where you don't see anything are the ones I reseeded a few days ago. So I I feel like this was back there, and I wasn't getting back there to water it as often as it needed. But if you see, here's one of the ones I just reseeded, and it's coming up. It's actually doing that helmet thing, but I'm gonna give it some time to get its life together. But so New Zealand spinach is not a true spinach. It has the flavor though. As you know, spinach is cold hardy. It loves cold weather. New Zealand spinach is heat tolerant. So this is one we can plant and that will grow and thrive while it's warm outside. So again, that one's for the chickens. And I'm excited to be a delicious, tasty snack. Oh, y'all, let's talk about this water hose situation. Still out in the middle of the yard. So Vivor finally contacted me back. I made it perfectly clear. I love your products. I'll continue to shop with you, but I need you to make this right. They finally contacted me back and they were like, we value you as a customer. So what do you want to do? We can give you a partial refund and you can keep it. I can't deal with this in the middle of the yard business. So my other option that they gave me was send it back and we'll send you a new one. That is exactly what I was trying to hear. Because if you didn't see my last video, which you need to go back and watch, then you will know that I bought this on April 12th, 2025. And April 12th, 2026, it stopped retracting. So that's why it's all sprawled out in the yard. I can't stand how this looks in the middle of my yard. It looks so lazy. It's given I don't care. It's given, I did all this growing and planting and making this yard look phenomenal, only to be too lazy to put the hose away. So good news, they're replacing it. And they sent me all the postage and not the packaging, but they sent me the replacement, the packaging slip, so that they paid the postage for me to return it at no cost to me, at their expense. Back to Greenstalks, though, I just want to give you a brief update on my water hose situation. Because listen, ain't no hose gonna be. Wait, what was I gonna say? I won't be defeated by hose. Don't worry about that. Okay, just listen. It's gonna get replaced. So in the very near future, we're gonna see the new hose. Now my actual issue here is that while I'm sending this one back and waiting for the new one to come, I gotta hook up my old standard water hose to the house and use that one. So I'll still have a water hose dangling in the middle of my yard, but it'll be temporary. Anyway, Greenstalks, that's what we're talking about, right? Yeah. All right, we have our really sunny lemon, and this is from the Yellow Door Urban Homestead bundle. So it came with you got the 5-tier basket weave original, the lid, and the spinner with wheels. All of my Greenstalks, every one of them, is on a spinner base and on a paver. So I did not add the wheels. I'm not taking this anywhere. I don't take my Greenstalks down in the fall and the winter. I plant in them. So these always have something growing in them. So our top tier here is the African, well, I watered, so these are heavy. This is the African Marigold. This is the Keys Orange from Baker Creek. And they are trucking along fine. Second tier, we know what this is, right? You know what this is by those leaves. Yep, nasturtium. And I cannot wait until these are pouring out, because nasturtiums crawl. They trail. So at some point these are going to get large enough. They're going to be pouring down the sides. And I love that they'll be in between the tiers. This is a Bloody Mary nasturtium. So the flowers on this one are red, and this one's darker. And you can see how different it looks than this one. So it grows a little slowly, but it's growing. This is the Yeti nasturtium, and these flowers are all yellow. So I think it's going to be super nice. But these ones, the big ones, are the standard ones that you see everybody with. These are the jewel tone nasturtiums, and the name for them is Nasturtium majus, and it's MAJUS. Anyway, next here, y'all, Again, I tried standard French marigolds in this tier. Nothing came up. Well, what's that? See what I'm saying? You cannot trust marigolds. You cannot trust them French marigolds. Anyway. These are Love in a Mist on this tier, except for that one that's got the marigold coming up. Oh, I'm sorry. This pocket too that's got marigolds coming up. So what I did, I put the Love in a Mist in where I didn't see the marigolds coming up. Anyway, next tier is, I'm not going to keep turning this around because they look the same in every pocket. So this tier is it's either the teddy bear or the short stuffed sunflowers, but they look like that. So let me see if I can zoom in right quick. If you can just look past the water hose. See how tall that is? It's cute, right? That's how big it's going to get, which I think is just perfect for the Greenstalk. So let's talk about flowers in your Greenstalk. You are growing all this stuff, right? Your garden is looking very healthy, plentiful, bountiful. You got all this stuff happening. Who do you think is going to pollinate all this stuff for you? That's right. So you need to go ahead and attract your pollinators to your yard. So this New Zealand spinach is not going to attract pollinators. It's all greens. It doesn't have a flower on it until it starts to bolt. But up to that point, it's not attracting anything except for maybe that the cabbage looper and that white cabbage moth. But you need flowers. For one, whatever you're growing in your Greenstalks, if you're growing fruits and vegetables in your Greenstalks, you need to attract your bees and your other pollinators. In addition to that, these pollinators are doing work for everybody. If you grow flowers in your home, in your yard, they need pollination so they can continue to grow. And if you're growing fruits and vegetables, any kind of produce, that fruits and flowers, you also need the pollination. So draw them in addition to all those things. Don't you want to come outside and see the absolute magnificent beauty that these flowers are going to bring to your yard? Yes, the joy, the happiness, the smiles on your face, your family face, your neighbor's face. Again, y'all, I'm the corner house. I can't hide what I got going on out here. So if I can't hide, I'm going to have some pride. Write it down. Today's date at this time. Anyway, let's get back to these Greenstalks. So we have the blueberry. And this one's a little bit of a hodgepodge. So we're not going to discuss what this is because there'll be a quiz at the end. So right now, say it with me. These are Dusty Miller. Okay, cool. The whole entire tier. Excuse me. This is some oregano from last year that didn't want to join the party this year. So I'm going to remove that. Here we have some sage. This sage is actually from last year. I did not pull it out. I let it come back, and it's a little bit on the struggle, but it's a little bit yellow, but it's also very green. So I'm letting it do what it wants. Here's another oregano that didn't want to join the party this year. So I'm going to have 2 pockets up here that's going to need something. Some lily bulbs that I had planted here last year that decided they did want to join the party. And a lettuce. I literally had one lettuce start, and I didn't know. I cannot bear the idea of having seedlings and just letting them wilt and wither away. So I was like, I'm going to find somewhere for you to go. This is the somewhere. Back to these Greenstalks. So we have yarrow growing on this tier. Nothing here. And I've got some green onions in the house. So that's what's going to go in this empty spot. More yarrow. This is salad bowl lettuce. So we're going to see how this does out here as it gets warmer outside. More yarrow and more of last year's sage. These are also last year's sage. And then over here we have German and Roman chamomile. Let me turn back the other way. German and Roman chamomile. And another bulb that I planted last year that I didn't take. What am I doing? That I didn't take out. I have no idea what it is. I have to go back and look at my photos and videos from last year. When we moved this green stalk, because you remember this green stalk was closer to the deck, we took it apart, amended the soil, or added some fertilizer actually, and some worm castings, and then we restacked it. But I don't think we restacked it in the same order that it was in. So I have no idea what this stuff is in some of these tiers. The stuff that I'm telling you what it is stuff I can visibly see what it is, or that I planted this year. But some of these bulbs, I have no idea what flower they're going to be. So I've got to go back and look. Anyway, I'm talking about. And the bottom tier, all the way around, well, except for this, again, another bulb from last year. But the bottom tier, oh, and this ginormous rosemary that's been literally growing this green stalk for 2 years. And besides those, we all have the teddy bear sunflowers down there. So moving right along, what do we have here? Everybody's favorite. There you go, fan favorite, razzleberry. And this is where the fun starts. I mean, these are fun too, don't get me wrong. Y'all a whole lot of fun too. But y'all. So calendula up here. And this is the pink surprise, I think it's called, calendula. Sage. So every other pocket on my top tier is sage. Every other pocket is calendula and Hansei. Look at that. She is most beautiful. Yeah, honey. And she looks so full. Like they do so well in the green salt. Look at this. Look at that color. It's... All right, let me calm down. All right, the white tier, again, is marigolds. And these acted right over here. Look at this. They bussin', like the kids like to say. My daughters say that everything is bussin'. But I know y'all see what's down in these other two tiers, right? These are the orange hat tomatoes. And let me tell you something. These little trellises, these supports from Greenstalk, absolutely incredible. They fit beautifully in the pockets. They seat in there very well. And they're perfect for this. These are a micro dwarf tomato. As you can see, they are putting on a show, hunte. Look at the flowers. Putting on an absolute show, except for this. And I'm going to tell you what this is. I was running a few experiments this year. And you may remember me telling you. Where I wanted to see what I could plant early, how it would do, and where I could plant it. This is the mini bell pepper. Look at that. I already got 3 off today, and it's still flowering. So this is the only thing different. So these these two tiers are what did I say they were? The orange hat or the micro toms? I forgot. Anyway, here have some perennials in here. So we got sunflowers here, snapdragons. I'm sorry, this is a petunia. I'm gonna cut her back. Also, y'all, please deadhead your flowers. Let's talk about this right quick. You ever bought some flowers and they look real pretty, and you brought them home and you planted them and they look real pretty, and then the flowers died and then your plant didn't do anything after that? It's because you need to deadhead them. And by deadhead, what I mean is, let me show you. These are petunias. So you see the flower has died. Remove that. You actually can go ahead and remove down to the next set of leaves. And what it's telling your plant is your plant wants to reproduce, okay? So once it flowers, it's saying, okay, we've done our job. We can go ahead and start making seeds. And then the other guys, you know, your shift is over. We can go ahead and make seeds for the next generation. You know, because now these flowers are the ancestors, right? Don't let your flowers become ancestors. Don't let your flowers become ancestors. Make your flowers remain in this generation. Deadhead them so they continue to produce. As long as you keep pulling the old flowers off, your plant's going to say, dang, I thought I was pregnant. I guess I wasn't. Let me pick up another baby. Which is, that other baby is your flower. So they will keep producing flowers and keep producing flowers because they want to go to seed. And every time you remove the dead flower, you prevent them from going to seed. Only you can prevent flower seeds. I'm pretty sure that actual saying is a bear, and he's not talking about flower seeds. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. Y'all, let me give y'all a short mission while we out here. Keep me from being on a tangent because I will be on a tangent. Like, literally, my name is Stephanie Tangent Lawson. I know you didn't know my middle name, and it's an ugly name, but I am who I am. Back to this Greenstalk. So this is the luscious Greenstalk. So I'm going to try to call all of them by their names. So we've got petunias in here. This is Shasta Daisy from last year. It was, I threw the seeds in here last year. I got a little bit of plant like that. And then it ended up dying back for in the winter. And then this happened. This started happening like March. The other tiers up here all have the short stuffed sunflowers in them. This also perennial. This is my Indian blanket flower, or Gaillardia. You see she's about to do her thing. Oh my God, I love this. I love this. Mixed in here, you will see clamoring for the light, but also about to bud. Snapdragons from last year. Now look, volunteer. I'm glad this is a volunteer organization and you had opportunity to get your volunteer hours in, because y'all, I definitely 100% did not plant these pansies, but I've got Johnny jump ups showing up all across my front yard. Some grew in a pot. I definitely did not plant those. I definitely planted Johnny jump ups 3 years ago in a bed in the front, which we then turned that soil completely over, amended that bed, ripped the whole front of that bed up, and then replanted. Where these come from, I don't know. This is not a complaint because they're pretty. And listen, I just finished telling y'all flowers are beneficial for your yard, and this entire tier, this entire Greenstalk. What am I doing? Stop looking at my neck. This entire Greenstalk is flowers. So, we have a rando marigold. Again, you all have to dead hit your marigolds. This one is looking crunchy. So let's go ahead and remove her, because what you see is another one about to open, another one about to open. So go ahead and remove this dead one. Throw it in the compost, or, throw it somewhere. Look pretty over there. All right. These are the teddy bear sunflowers. Here we have last year's snapdragon she's coming back. So I ain't gonna mess with her. And in here, I planted some beans, which you can see coming up. See, there's a bean. And some more. And there, you see that? Bean. Another marigold. This one trying to look crunchy. You don't have to wait until it dies back. You can go ahead as soon as it starts withering. And this is another snapdragon that's trying to come back from last year. So I'm not going to bother with it, because snapdragons are perennials here. All right, y'all. We almost done-ish. Our blackberry Greenstalk. Also 5-tier original. First top 2 tiers, dragon tongue beans. And y'all, I planted 3 beans per pocket, and I got 100% germination from these dragon tongue beans, and I'm gonna show you. Look in there. You see 3 stalks in every one? You see 3? Yeah. This is crazy amount of foliage. And if you look, you see we're about to start developing pods and flowers, so that's super exciting. But again, I think I dropped one in here. This has 4, but you can plant 4 beans per. No, you actually plant 9 beans per square foot. So, but on a Greenstalk, you can plant 3 beans per pocket. So I'm gonna let this one go, and see how it does, because I can't stand to thin out stuff. I want it all. All right, third tier is salad bowl lettuce. Again, I just sprinkled it in to see how it was going to do. Fourth tier are, these are not dragon tongue beans. These are the tricolor beans down here. And, no, I'm lying. Oh, my microphone fell. I'm going to try to tell less lies. My microphone fell, y'all. Hold on, because you can't hear me. I'm going to try to tell less lies in this video, because I 100% definitely. I'm so close. I had to pick my microphone off the ground. Those are the Kentucky Wonders. That might also be a lot. It's Kentucky somebody bean. It's a bush bean. Anyway, also planted 3 of those per tier and got nearly 100% germination. Actually, not nearly. I did get 100% germination. And then at the bottom, the teddy bear sunflowers. So again, we're gonna have sunflowers down there to help with germination, and also give something for our pollinators to have. Sorry if I'm sounding weird. I definitely dropped my microphone, and it was in my hand. So if I sounded strange for a little while, it's my fault. I'm strange-ish. I don't look strange though. You don't have to lock your doors if you see me walking up. Anyway, back to this Greenstalk. We have the Cherry Blossom Greenstalk, 5-tier original. So, top tier is going to be beans. Where is it? Oh, nothing there. You know what that means? Resowing. So, every pocket on this tier, every other pocket is rosemary, and every other pocket is beans. So, these beans seem to be struggling on this top tier, and I don't know why, but you know what that means? Resow. This is a bean here, and I don't remember which one. But what happened is this whole tier, the second tier is golden beets. And this was actually my free pack of the seed from Haas, my thank you pack. So golden beets, all in this tier, except for that one bean, because I had one beet that failed. So I put 3 beans in here. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 3 beans. Okay. We're not going to discuss the third tier because. All right, down here we have the, this is the orange hat tomato. And again, I have the supports from Greenstalk. However, I didn't have enough. So any of the plants that look like they needed it, got it. So you don't see them on all the tiers, but listen, do y'all see the amount of tomatoes up here? Listen, all over. I got no complaints. Here we have, this is the, wait, that's evergreen. This is the luscious green. Oops. Top tier, teddy bear sunflowers. Next tier, nasturtium. 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 These again are nasturtium majus, or the jewel tone nasturtium. So this is the one that's going to be kind of rainbow that everybody plants. Next tier is, these are, well, the next 2 tiers are the bluebird forget-me-nots. So again, we have another Greenstalk that's just absolutely chock full of flowers. And forget-me-not, girl, we ain't gonna forget you. Look at that. About to get some flowers. Yes, we are. Also, are any of you all experiencing an unusual amount of gnats in your Greenstalks? Excuse me. Now, it can't be the soil. Nobody says the soil. I'm going to tell you why. Ain't no way we all using the same soil. Also, did we all dig in the exact same bag? I don't know what's going on with the Greenstalks this year, but I am getting quite a bit of gnats. And I don't like it. Anyway, we're coming to the end here. And I hate for y'all to go, but we almost at the end. All right. We know what this is, right? Oh, And the birds have not touched them. You know why the birds haven't touched them? Do you know why the birds? Because they're in my garden beds, molesting my straw. Yeah. We're not going to go over that again. We talked about it last time. Also, I probably should speed this up before the train comes through. Because fortunately, we haven't heard it this whole entire time. But you know, it's never too late for the choo-choo. Back to this Greenstalk. What about? So this is like a trillion strawberries. And these were originally in a bed. And so I took them out and put them in the Greenstalk. I kept seeing people online saying, oh, Greenstalks are just absolutely primo to grow your strawberries. And I was like, well, I'm going to get one. This is the only 7-tier Greenstalk I own. Sorry, y'all. They were looking a little crispy. I don't know why. But the production is phenomenal. I don't have slugs. I don't have bugs. I guess I'm a poet. But I do have dogs. Get down. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing, homie. That's Arbor. And I'm sure Sonny will be coming out to assault me in a minute. But, y'all, I couldn't be more excited about this. I mean, knock me over with a feather or don't. Knock me over with a Greenstalk. So this had, it had some brassicas in there. So you see some empty pockets. And I left these pockets empty after I pulled the brassicas out. Because I don't remove the strawberries. They live here all year. They overwinter here. And then they come back in the spring. So the empty pockets, I am going to put my runners in. And as much as I want to plant in here, I know that I need some empty pockets. Oh, y'all, this is an onion. This is the Walla Walla onion. And she is doing real good in here. Like, real good. She getting big. And, oh yeah, there's a bulb in there. All right, so we are in Virginia. We should grow intermediate day onions, although I do try to push it by planting short day. Anyway, we ain't talking about that. Look at this kale. I pulled it out, but not exactly. I actually didn't pull it out. All the other brassicas I cut back so the roots could die. And then before I planted, I went in and took that tier off and pulled them out completely. And amended that soil. That one I didn't do. I cut it back. Didn't pull it out. Your brassicas will grow back. You leave the roots in there. Expect to get more brassicas. They're coming back. Here, can I show y'all some flowers real quick? Squirrel. These are my Masimoto blue asters. Do you see they are deep purple color? But today, this is the Bennery giant red aster. Heavens to Murgatroyd. These white flowers are globe amaranth or gomfrena, as well as these purple ones. Same thing, different color. And this is the caramel rudbeckia, the black eye Susan. And it comes in this pretty caramel color. All right, I'm done squirreling. I just needed to show you all that. So I'm gonna turn this around so y'all while we're walking through, because we're going to see the other Greenstalk. This is the only one that I left inside of the garden. So for no particular reason except I was by myself and I didn't have anybody to help me get it out of here. I would have liked to have taken the tiers and just kind of put them over the fence to hand them to somebody, but the way that works, you have to have somebody to hand it to. And I don't have anybody to hand it to. Anyway, back to. So we're walking through peppers. Y'all want to take a look at this corn? Yeah, girl. Corn, corn, corn. Corn, corn, corn. Corn. Look at that Greenstalk casting a ginormous shadow right across the middle of my corn. Rude. Sunflower. That is the teddy bear sunflower. About to start getting fuzzy. You see the fuzz? About to get fuzzy. And I can't wait. So this is our final Greenstalk, y'all. I just cut these chives a few days ago. You see they're cut at the top, but you see they're growing back. So they had flowered. So I watched Yellow Door Urban Homestead, and I took the tops and some of the greens and put them in some vinegar, but I also put in there one of my super hot peppers. So I figured I would be making myself some super hot sauce. We'll see how that turns out. Anyway, up here we have shallots. So let's talk about these tiers. You'll notice that the yellow tiers have some, let me back up, good Lord. The yellow tiers have some stuff in them that are a little bit more mature. That's because over here was originally a 3-tier lemon. So this stuff has been planted out since the fall, which is why you see shallots this big in here and chives this mature, because they've been here since ever. Again, we have an oregano that didn't want to show up this year. I think it talked to the other two and was like, no, we ain't coming. So anywhere I had empty pockets, I'll throw some marigolds in, because why not? Second tier this is the strawberry Greenstalk, and this tier got beans. This can't be the Kentucky Wonder, because Kentucky Wonder is a pole bean. Oh, this is the Blue Lake Bush bean. Ooh, child. I was about to tell a lie again. The Blue Lake Bush bean. So every pocket has 3, and you'll notice 3 coming up in every pocket, which I'm super excited about. More shallots, more marigolds. And so the empty pockets where you see the marigolds were spinach. So my lemon Greenstalk over here had 3 different kinds of spinaches grown on every tier, interspersed with onions and shallots. Chives and shallots. So that's why these marigolds are in the empty pocket. That's why I have empty pockets, because I took the spinach out because it's hot. This tier, this bottom strawberry tier, I sprinkled chive seeds in there, and I don't see nothing. And the lemon tier at the bottom was all spinach, except for this one shallot. So I sprinkled chive seeds in there, and I'm not seeing anything. Look, random marigold. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm put some beans in there, because why not? Or some flowers. Either way, it's a Greenstalk. You have so many options and choices about what you can do. Wait, y'all want to see some pretty flowers? These are my snapdragons from last year. Okay, I want y'all to know that these are about 4 feet tall. They're all from last year. Yeah, I didn't mess with them. I didn't touch them. I left them exactly where they were. All my life, I wanted to make a video with no extraneous noises in the background. No train, no horns, no people yelling, no kids running. Here I go, always trying to mind my business. But again, I live on a corner house, so this how it goes. You gotta hear everything. But it ain't stopping me from going. They can be as loud as they want to. All I know is that we out here growing stuff, greenstalking. Not stalking, not green stalking. That sounds like a creep in the garden. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I do have one final Greenstalk. I know you're saying, good Lord, that was long. It was a whole bunch of them on the front porch. But look, it was a whole bunch of them in the yard, but look. Yeah, girl, I'm a Chevy girl. I'm a trailer girl now. Master Gardeners are preparing for our plant sale on Saturday. So we got this stuff that's going to the sale. Anyway, can I show y'all some pretty flowers? I planted all perennials, and look what happened. Hello, Mr. B. Are you having a good time out here? Touching my foxglove? Oh my goodness, yes. Hello, foxglove. Hello, ballerina roses. Canna lily. We're at the front door, y'all. This is the final Greenstalk. When the strawberry first came out, I was like, oh, I gotta have that. So we've got straight up flowers in here. It's at the front door. Like, what a beautiful way to walk up to your front door. So what this did have in it was these. And those are tulip bulbs. So this had tulips. Wherever you see the marigolds was a tulip. Deadhead. Boop. So the tulip. Yeah, you're going to. Sorry, y'all. Dead hedge of flowers. Oh, you too. Well, good day, sir. Okay, I'm on a tangent. I asked you guys to keep me off a tangent, and I'm riding it again. I need a saddle so I can ride this tangent like a horse. Anyway, so we have some perennials in here. Look at that dianthus. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Look at these. I got some in white. And then I just filled everywhere. I took out the tulip bulbs. I took out the bulbs so they can dry, so I can store them for next season. Because I didn't want to just leave them in here, because that meant I would have nothing up here until next spring, and that ain't how I roll. So we took those bulbs out. We let them die all the way back. Took them out, and we will put those in the garage for next spring. And so okay. So anyway, YouTube, that's not my music. I don't own that music. It ain't me. So anyway, that's it, guys. That is the Greenstalk tour. Thank you for joining me for this last 46 minutes. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you like. You got some questions about these Greenstalks? Ask. I got answers. And if I don't, I'll find it. Y'all want to see some pretty flowers? Hi, Mr. Foxglove. This is the Frida Kahlo rose. Do you see the variegation in that? You see those colors? Lord, have mercy. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Hello, Foxgloves. Y'all, this is all perennials. These hollyhocks. Can I tell you that this plant is like 4 feet tall? Yeah, these hollyhocks about to do their thing. All Shasta daisies, all chamomile. This is German and Roman chamomile. How exciting is that? A sea of chamomile. This is Veronica, also known as Speedwell. And then we have some sage back here that's flowering. How can you not love this? Well, I'm going to go park my tangent because I was definitely on it. Anyway, thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys very soon. We will come back and do a garden tour because a lot of this stuff is much larger than it was in our last garden tour. And so, or we can do a greenhouse tour. Let me know what you prefer to see, or we can just do flowers because, listen, you got to have the flowers. You got to have the flowers. You need them. You need flowers. Ignore that hose. You need flowers. You got to have flowers. Anyway, I said that. Thanks, guys. Always great to see you, hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, ask a question, all those things. And until next time, it's me, Stephanie from Lost and Funny Farm, and I'll see you soon. Bye.